So today on Cody's Garage, we're putting coilovers on my 1952 Chevrolet Styleline. Well, they're not really coilovers, they're load carrier spring assisted, but they're coilovers. So let's get into it. So I got the shock out. I just got the stud on there yet to take off and drill a hole in there. Put the other through bolt and bushing in, and we should be good. What I used was WD-40 for cutting fluid. My my DeWalt 1/2-inch metal bit, pry bar, and I used my my grinder. I got a grinding disc on here, but then I got a cutting disc that's almost completely gone. I just got this today, but you know, anywho, you know, we should be good to go to put all that stuff in. It's really not that hard. You just gotta modify, you know, half of everything. It's not a big deal. All right, so you guys saw me cut it out up top there. Well, all I did down here, it'll focus. All I did down here was cut that stud off flush, and then when I cut it off flush, all I did was drill a 1/2-inch hole in it, and that'll give us more than enough room to be able to put in the next the stud that then, you know, goes into that bushing and stuff. We'll have more than enough room to finish everything from there. All right, so we got the stud in here. Just literally goes through there, and then on the back side here, we got this. We got the lock washer and the nut. All I'm doing is reaching behind there, just putting the nut on, starting it by hand, so that way because you never want to start it with anything other than by hand, because there's an extreme possibility that it might strip out. And it strips out, you're done. You got to go get a new one, because you got to cut this one off pretty much. I mean, there's ways to get it off, but that's a whole nother video. You might have to push it a little forward if you're doing it on here, and spin the stud to get it to go on. Spin the stud onto the nut, and just like that, it started. So all I'm going to do is get a 3/4 wrench, tighten it up back here, and then our coilover will slide onto here. I'll put a nut on here, or I lied, a washer on here, and then this side has, if I can get it off, this side's got a lock washer that, if I don't drop and lose, goes right on there, and then it's got the nut. And you always want to have the lock washers on, just so that way, you know, you're sure nothing will ever back off. Well, I shouldn't say ever, but it's unlikely it'll back off. So let's do that. I'll go ahead and get the shock in here. I'll go ahead and get this tightened up back here, get the shock in, and then as I'm putting everything on, I will get back with you. All right, so I got the stud in, it's tight back here. All you got to do now is pick your shock up, feed it through the hole up at the top, get it lined up, slide it right on. She goes right on. Now let me go get the nut, the little washer, and the lock washer, and we'll throw that on here. And you know, I don't know the torque spec on here, so I'm just gonna go TAF. For those of you that don't know what that means, can't say it on YouTube, but you know. All right, so we're gonna put the rubber bushing on. We're gonna put, ooh, if I don't bump it, we're gonna put the metal washer on. Then we're gonna put the nut on. And as soon as we tighten that down with I think that's a 9/16. Let's see if I'm lying to you this time, or if that's right. 9/16. That is right, so I'm not lying to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down, and I'll catch back up with you when I'm done, show you the final progress. Okay, so there's that bushing that I was talking about, and then it goes up through the floor there. But it's a good 1.5 inches taller. So on to the other side, please. They're both done up here, and they're both done down here. There's that one, and there's that one. Let's get this side on the ground, and I'll show you exactly how it sits. One video, 2 days, a couple of ambulance calls, and a ambulance meeting later. We got coilover shocks on a 1952 Chevrolet Styleline. Sits really, really, really nice. These are, once again, the Gabriel Load coilover shocks. After literally having to modify everything, here we are. We got coilovers on my 1952 Chevrolet Styleline. You know, but I was looking stuff up, and I really didn't see any videos on Garcia Loadmaster shocks going onto, you know, someone's old car. It's mainly for, you know, trucks or, you know, delivery vans or, you know, off-road vehicles and that kind of stuff. So I wanted to put them on my car. I mean, they were cheap enough. They were like 75 bucks on Rock Auto. But, you know, nonetheless, you know, even though that I had to modify stuff, if I wanted to put something else on in the future, you know, it's not going to be hard to do because all the modifications have been done. But, you know, I don't think I'm going to, because I like them and stuff, and they're red and black, and they look cool, if anything. But, you know, nonetheless, you know, there's really no videos on here about, you know, those Garcia Loadmasters on a car, and let alone there's no real videos of really a whole lot of people putting shocks on a 1952 Chevrolet Styleline, especially coilovers. I don't think there's any of coilovers. So, on that note, thank a first responder for me. God bless, and have a great day, guys.